What's up, everybody? I am headed to Lone Star Grills right now to pick up a long-awaited grill that I had made. It's not like a custom grill in the sense that I designed it, but it's a grill that they make that's got a bunch of options to it. So we're going to go pick up the trailer right now, and then I'm going to head over there and pick this grill up. So I'm excited to show it off to you guys. I mean, other people have it on YouTube, and not a lot of people are talking about it much on YouTube, it seems. But it's a very versatile grill. It's not cheap, but like I said, it was manufactured by Lone Star Grill. So we're gonna go pick this thing up right now and see how it goes. All right, guys, got the trailer hitched up back there. Let's go get a grill. Here, Lone Star Grill. I guess I need to pull up in here and pick this trailer up. Or to pick this, I need to pull up in here and get the grill, I guess. So I'm gonna pull up in here. Alright, so I parked back there. That's where I'm assuming I'm gonna have to pick up. We're gonna walk over here to the main office and see if we can pick up my grill. So all you people across the world, Texas, they're picking up grills for Lone Star Grills. This is the place where it's all made. Alright, guys, there she is, all strapped down, ready for the ride. Let's see how she holds. I got her pretty snug. So pizza stone right there. The motor, the rotisserie motor, is going to have to be delivered. They didn't have it in stock, but they did have my spit and everything. So the fireboard and everything else was with it. So let's go.
What's going on, everybody? So it's been a while since I put out a video, and I know I say that every video because it's pretty much true. I haven't shot a lot of videos over the months, just, you know, life, doing other things, but here I am, and I've got something to be excited about again for a while. One of the earlier videos I said that the S&S Grills Kamado was going to be the last grill I ever bought. Well, you know, that was a lie, because here I am about to demo another grill that is not sponsored in any shape or form. This is out of my own hard-earned money, and so it's right behind me here. You saw me pick it up, and I put more oil on this thing than a Diddy party, so it's ready to be baked in. But I wanted to kind of go over the features of it and talk about it a little bit. And yes, I am having a Lone Star beer. That's not very normal of me, but it's very hot here in Houston today. I'd say it's scraping 100 degrees. I'm sweaty. It's humid, and it feels absolutely awful. It feels like Satan's rear end today. So that's the best way to describe Houston summers. Anyhow, have the Lone Star El Patron behind me. I even have my own custom plate put on it. I'm apparently one of the first people to ever ask for a custom plate on an El Patron. Usually they put the custom plate on the firebox of their offsets, but I saw people putting their plates on there, and I wanted it, and of course it costs extra to do that. But I said this is going to be my long-term, lifelong grill, and I do really feel like this thing will last a lifetime. I don't know if you see my footage here, me dragging it to the back. It weighs almost 500 pounds. It is a beast, and it's a backbreaker, and really should involve two men, women, whatever. Probably, I don't know, depending on the woman, how strong you are. But it's going to take multiple people. It should have took multiple people, but me being He-Man, I decided to do it myself and get it back here. So let's talk about all the features on this grill, and I'll show you why this one sold me and why it quickly and immediately will replace my S&S Kamado. One thing off the bat, I miss traditional split barbecue. I miss doing that. There are times when I want to barbecue, but you put a lot of time into it, you put hours in, and at the end of the day, you want your product to taste great, right? So I've had decent barbecue come off the Traeger, but it's pellet grill barbecue. I've had decent barbecue come off the Kamado, but I don't get that smoke intensity, smoke ring chemistry thing going on, because the Kamado is so efficient that it holds the heat in so well, and the smoke just doesn't have to, it just doesn't bypass and kiss the meat as often as an offset smoker. So here behind me, I have what is considered kind of like a hot box style smoker. It's called El Patron, like I said, by Lone Star Grills. And let's get into the features on this real quick, okay? All right, first and foremost, I love this optional intake grate. You can do it here, adjust here, or you can open the door, and opening the door allows you to load more splits in, but it also allows you to, you can set a gap here for air intake. So you can have it set here, you can set it back a little further here, or you know, you can adjust it according to what you're trying to do air intake wise. So yeah, you can adjust it here and there, little notches right here for you to do so. And so inside, let me adjust the exposure here so you can see. We have two different fire basket options. I opted for both baskets. This one's more for traditional split loading, fire management, if you will. It's a very heavy duty stainless steel setup, and I did grease that thing down real good. And I'm going to use that for the burn-in today. The other one we have here is more for the longer smoke, where you don't have to maintain the fire, you just kind of set and forget, and I'll explain that here briefly in a moment on the set and forget piece, which was also an option. If you look down here on the bottom of my grill, my Patron has a port on it. That is also an added feature that you have to pay for. See if I can get it to focus on for y'all. So anyways, in this port there's a plug. You can take this plug out and there's a hole there, and that's where you can attach a fan and control it with a fan, kind of like I do with the Auto Kamado-ish deal I did on my S&S grill. I'll put that back later. I also opted for the stainless steel folding shelf. That does not come standard on the grill. That was an added cost. But I wanted a place to set things. You know, trays, plates, prep plates, seasonings, whatever. I can set them on that tray. And then I also added this pull bar on there, which is very heavy duty. And if you look above the pull bar, I added the rotisserie option. I got some oil coming down the outside, and I'll talk about that in a minute too. But yeah, that's for a rotisserie. It just goes through one side and it comes out the other side here. You could also run a probe in there when you're not rotisserieing. When you're not rotisserieing, you can run a temp probe in there if you wanted. Other thing I love about this grill is you have a Santa Maria style flame adjuster or fire rack adjuster. So you can turn this guy and it will lower all the way down. And I'll show you inside here. This guy right here. This guy right here. I can raise and lower it, kind of Santa Maria like. If I want the flame closer to the meat, if I want it further away from the meat, or whatever I'm cooking, I can bring it up and down. And right now it didn't come all the way down because my fire management is in the way. But you have two options on this grill. One is you can do your fire at the very bottom on the brick here in a grate or without the grate. And actually I think the baskets you have to add. I should take a step back on that. You don't get baskets with it. You can build your fire right on the fire brick on the bottom. I opted for both grates, depending on how I feel that day. So, yes, you can put your fire on here or down here. Probably if I'm doing burgers and stuff or something, I'll probably build my fire on that guy. And I can raise and lower it depending on how intense the fire gets. I'm gonna go ahead and close this up. But like I said, I oiled this thing down and everything. And I don't think I was supposed to oil this door down for the burn-in, and I'll explain why as well. But it looks like I can't close this until I move this back. Let me roll this guy back up to some and crank it back up. And there's a little lever here that I'm going to use my knee to engage. And that lever, this lever here, locks that. So now she's raised back up to up in there. Should be able to close this now. Yep. Here's because it was sitting on that grate and pushing outward against the door. Also, it has exhaust vents on both sides of the grill itself, so I can adjust, you know, airflow on both sides. I thought that was interesting that I would have vents on each side, and that'll be something fun to play with as well. So yeah, one thing I like about this grill also is when I want to do pizzas, it has a pizza door. Boom. That's awesome. And I can put my pizza stone. I did buy the pizza stone for it as well. I mean, I maxed this thing out, guys. I spent a ton of money on this grill, and so yeah. It starts at $1,900, and it just goes up from there. And just know that I'll probably be like, you know, telling my kids they can't go to college or something because of this grill. But it has a pizza door, and there's a pizza stone they make for it that I do have that goes in the middle, so you can slide your pizzas in and out on a fairly large stove. And you can close it and lock it in. You know, when you're not using it, you just have the regular door. So let's look on the inside. All right, inside we have our standard grates here. There's I think there's 5 of them here. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 grates in here that all come out individually, and they are really heavy and really durable. They are full-blown steel, and I've got them oiled down real good, getting ready to do the burn-in and let that patina develop on all the surfaces. And it's very roomy in here, man. I can probably do 3, maybe 4, maybe 5 briskets in here. Honestly, it's got a lot of real estate. And then I can also do stuff on the top here on this rack. This was also an option. This does not come standard with the grill, but I did opt for the upper rack in the grill. But yeah, and you can see the rod there, mechanism for raising and lowering the lower fire grate. I don't know if you can see it down there, but that's the other fire grate below. It also doubles as an indirect smoking kind of deal. So if you got a fire on the main bottom down there, down here, you can use that as a deflector, if you will. All right, so I've shown you all the features of this grill. What stands out about this grill as opposed to my Kamado is the ability to do split management, fire management. Can't do that on the Kamado. You really can't. Once you set everything in there, you kind of just hope that you have enough fuel in there to get you through the cook. And if you don't, then you got to take everything out and reload your fuel and everything. I did that before, one time actually, not very often. But yeah, it's kind of it's more of a pain that way. And this I can do like true Texas barbecue with splits of my choice, and just throw a split on every 45 minutes to an hour, traditional style cooking. And then when I don't feel like managing the fire, I can actually treat it just like the Kamado. I can use this grate right here. It's pretty thick. I can use that grate, load it up with coal and wood, put this guy to work, fireboard fan, and of course the fireboard controller to control the fan and control the airflow, which we're going to try and use today. I may try and use that today for the burn-in so I can keep a steady 350 degrees in this thing. I haven't used this before. Fireboard is 100% made in the United States of America, so this entire grill and setup is bona fide USA product. And the guys over there at that shop, they working hard, man, putting these grills together. And Lone Star is selling grills like nobody's business over there. They have constant stock going out. I had to wait 3 months to get this grill. I ordered it, and I thought, oh, maybe I'll get it in a few weeks. But the lady told me it'd be a couple months, and then it ended up being like 3 months. And apparently their wait is still about 3 months right now. And this isn't, you're not buying this grill like going into Walmart and pulling some thin metalled grill that might last you 5 years if you take good care of it. This is very thick steel. This is about an 1/8 inch steel on it, all around. It's thick, and if it starts to rust, which they got a really good paint job on here, if it starts to rust, I can sand that and buy their paint that they use in their factory or in their warehouse to polish it up. The other thing about this grill, they told me not to put any mineral oil on the outside of it. I bought a big old jug of mineral oil. They told me not to do any mineral oil on it for like 3 cooks so that the paint has really enough time to bake in on the grill. And also they told me not to kick it above, I think, 350 degrees for the first few cooks so that paint doesn't bubble and chip off. You want to kind of season it in slowly. So what we're going to do today is we're going to get this thing up to about 300, 350 and do a burn-in. Let's get the fireboard adapter in. This little adapter that came with the grill. I'm just gonna see if I can screw it in there. And screw it in there as tight as I can. That looks like that's as far as it'll go, actually. Doesn't go very in, or it doesn't go in very far, that's for sure. Then put that on there like that. Have the fireboard fan. And of course it has a little pin here. You just pop the pin out. put this fan on and bring the pin through here. I guess it just kind of holds it in place. Just like that. I'm gonna loosen it a little bit to see if I can slide it in a little more. Nope, that's all the way. Alright, so then I have this little cable here that hooks to the controller. Alright, we got the Fireboard controller. Let's go ahead and take it out. I have opened this already and played with it, but I haven't actually played with setting temps on it yet. So let's see if I can get a temp probe out of here. Ambient probe at least. There's the plug. This is a plug. You can leave it plugged in and it'll keep power to the controller, or you can plug it in for a little while and let it charge fully, because this controller does have a 30-hour battery in it, so you can charge it up and it's supposed to last for about 30 hours during the smoke. Now I'm going to move this box out of the way. Alright, let's see where the temp ambient probe is in this thing. We got several probes here. Looks like this one. This one does not go in meat. This is the ambient. And the only reason why I'm doing this today is because I just want to keep this thing steadily burning at about 350 degrees. Alright, so I'm going to run the probe right through this little dealio here. I'm going to move these other items out of the way that I'm not going to use. I'm just going to clip the probe right into the middle of the grill. Let's connect the probe to a line end. This thing supports 6 probes, or yeah, 6 probes. So I'm just gonna plug it into the first one. This is messy, man, seasoning a grill. It's been a while since I had to do that. But like I said, I oiled this thing down because it is bona fide steel and an iron mix, and I don't want this thing rusting. I got a lot of money invested in this thing. So, alright, plug the fan in right here in this port. And I just press the side button here. See which way the screen is oriented here. Oh, it goes this way. So graph view. So let's go ahead and see if I can set this fan to a temperature. Channel 6. So I plugged it into channel 6 here. I guess I select it and then I can adjust the temperature. No? Alright. I'm back. Guess who's back? Back again. James is back. Tell a friend. Actually, don't tell your friends, because this channel will influence them in spending crazy amounts of money on grills and probably lead to a few divorces. Just kidding. Or maybe not. Anyways, this controller, I had to actually download the app and set it up. So now I have a session running here. I actually have the fan off, but I have it on auto mode. I've got it set to 350 degrees. We need to get some charcoal down in here, get a fire going, and see if we can see how this fan controller works out. So let's do that right now, and yeah, let's get it going. Another little Amazon special I picked up a while back. Close the door, just like that. Now we're going to play with the fan. So download the app. I did create a program on channel 6 because that appears to be the channel that my probe is in right now. It's in off mode right now. I'm going to kick it into auto. I can set a temperature point. Let's just do 350 degrees. Set it. And you know, we should see the fan kicking on. It's in auto mode right now. It says fan speed's at 29%. Fan's in at 29%. It slowly ramps the fan up. I got it set to 350 degrees on channel 6. And I think I can go in here, edit the session. And it started at 1 p.m. Let's turn it off at 5 p.m. That should be good enough. Let's just say 5 p.m. Come on. 5 p.m. Done. So that's it. It should maintain the temperature around 350. We'll see how well that works. It says it's 131 degrees in there right now, so we're trying to get it up to 350. Alright guys, one thing I wanted to point out about the fireboard, I don't know if this is, I think it is an issue, but I have to have this plugged in order for the fan to go past 27%. It was sitting at 27% for a very long time, so I wasted some time here, but when I plugged it into some power, the fan kicked up. So I'm going to contact Fireboard and ask them why I have to plug it in, because I shouldn't have to plug that in. And maybe it's a firmware deal, or maybe it's a setting that I'm not aware of. Anyways, if you know and you have a Fireboard controller that you can run the fan at 100% without being plugged in, please let me know and I will investigate. But yeah, I was sitting here like puzzled. I was going through the app trying to figure it out. It's getting frustrated because I have a set point of 350, as you can see here, and it was sitting at 27%, but now it's at 100 because I know the behavior of my other fan controller is it'll ramp it full blown until it gets closer to temp, and then it'll start to slow down. But yeah, just a little discovery while I'm playing with these new toys. Let's go down here and see how the coal's doing, because it's been slowly burning. I might have to replenish. Nah, we're still good, man. Still good on coals. I'll let that all burn out today. I'm not gonna save any of that, and I'll shop vac it or whatever once it's cooled down. But yeah, that's a discovery. When I tested it the other day, because I did play with it a little bit, it was getting 100%, but I also had it plugged in. I did not test it before this video to see if it would run on battery for 100%, and now I know. After doing a quick Google, I plugged into power, boom, sure enough, it went to 100% right away. So I got to find out why mine is not doing that on battery power. So anyways, the grill's still going. We'll check in later once we're actually at 350 degrees or so. We have been creeping slowly up on the temp over here as well. I love that gauge, looks awesome. It also says Lone Star Grills right there. Yep. Proudly supporting local grill making. So awesome, man. So get back to you in a bit. All right guys, it is about 5:30 in the evening, and the grill is just now getting up to about 292 degrees. I'm not gonna keep this video going for this. We never did get to our 350 mark, but I know why, and it was part of the reason was because the first hour or two, I noticed the fan was staying on like 27-28% capacity on speed. As soon as I plugged it in to a cord, it kicked up to 100, and then the temperature started coming up. But I've looked inside this grill, and there's a nice patina and everything going on in there. So we're gonna take a look at that real quick. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave this fan running until those ashes are all burned out down there. I'm just gonna leave it out here, and then I'll pack it up sometime tonight. And we'll do some official cooks on this grill, and hope you can join me on the journey with it as I play with it and do different types of cooks with it. I have the rotisserie motor coming soon, so that's on order. And yeah, so Thanksgiving I'm going to try and do a rotisserie turkey this year, so that'll be exciting and fun and different. So let's take a look at how things look in the grill. All right, let's open up the grill. Oh man, I didn't even do anything to the door, but I had put some wood chunks in there, and it looks like it left a little bit of some coating from the wood chunks on there. Let's see if I can. Alright, inside the grill, all the grates are nice and coated in that vegetable oil, all baked on. You can see a nice shimmer there. Yeah, it's coated well. Thoroughly protected on the inside now from rust, hopefully. And what I'll do is after or before every cook, probably I'll just do a little spray inside with some Pam or whatever vegetable spray I have at the time, canola, whatever, just to keep it protected. These grates right here are not stainless, so they will rust if I don't keep them coated. I did not buy the stainless grates. I had already spent a lot on the grill. Maybe in the future I might upgrade to them, but these are some pretty heavy duty grates, and if they ever did get rusty, there are some techniques to get it off, worst case. So let's take a look down here, how we're looking. Oh yeah, just going along. So anyhow, I do like that it's that little fire chamber down there like that. That's really cool. So yeah, so this is going to wrap it up, guys. I am going to email the fireboard company and find out why the controller does not go to 100% on the fan when it's got full battery. So this is a brand new device. I don't know if there's a setting in there somewhere that I missed, but if you know, or if this has happened to you too and you have a fireboard controller, please comment below and let me know what's up. And I'll let you guys know. I'll put it on in this video comment right about here if I ever do get a 350. But I think if I had known how to get the fan up faster, initially we would have gotten to the 350 mark for a while, but it doesn't really matter. 350 is the max they say to cook in the grill for your first 3 cooks or whatever, so that the paint has a chance to, nice and toasty, bake in a little bit and kind of condition with the grill. And then after that I can get this thing really hot and do some pizzas or some high heat steak sears and stuff. So this is the new grill. This is the go-to, and I want to get a lot of videos on it. And so thanks for sticking with me this long. This might be kind of a long video depending on how well I can compress the editing, but I'll see you guys soon when I actually cook on this thing. Cheers.